What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Figure It Out of the Basement's Black Series Talk Show. I'm Nate, joined with Justin.
What's up, guys?
And today we're going to be counting down expensive but terrible Black Series figures. Thank you to the 219 Star Wars guy for the topic suggestion.
Yeah.
If you would like to suggest a topic, comment down below. And maybe, just maybe, we'll do it.
Yeah, it's like the complete opposite of last week's video for Figure It Out, which was essentially a top 5 cheap but awesome. Now we're doing terrible and expensive Black Series figures that we just don't know why or how they accrued such a genuine value, but I do know why, because some of these are main characters.
Right.
But some rules here, though. Newly released figures that are going for like 200 on Mercari or eBay, obviously that does not count. These are figures that have accrued a genuine value over time, and they actually average out to be these like super insane expensive prices. We're also using Action Figure 411 again, which is a fantastic website that basically takes sold eBay auctions and averages out Black Series figures based on price. Also, I looked at Amazon listings because that's what I always do. A little bit of our own research.
So we've got 5 figures to count down today. They are in a particular order from least expensive to most expensive.
Or like shockingly expensive.
Right, because some of them, you know, they're not, well, the first one's not terribly expensive, but given which figure it is, yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't be paying that much for it. That's for damn sure.
So it's not a top 5 most expensive Black Series. It is not the most expensive Black Series, because some are expensive and they actually deserve it because they're awesome.
Right.
So coming in, our first pick is a funny one because this was actually on our top 10 back when we first started YouTube.
True.
Number 9.
Number 9.
The second
Number 9.
Cassian.
baddest bounty hunter in the galaxy.
Controversial one here.
Controversial pick, IG-88.
Ooh.
Now, Justin, we were talking about this figure earlier, and you described it so perfectly. Again,
Well, yeah, you get a nice little close-up there. As you can see, it has the silver, metallic, and like copper paint. You can see a lot of like tubes and wires on them. There's so many like great details on them if you turn them around. You know, we also said this earlier, we see a lot of people hating on the figure,
yeah.
but like we just love it.
And we've defended this figure quite a bit over the years, but I will explain. But Justin, go ahead.
IG-88, one of the Empire Strikes Back bounty hunters.
Yes, this figure currently goes on average for $44.24 eBay sold listings and sits on Amazon typically around $70 to $80. And it doesn't matter which flavor you pick, either Blue Line or Archive.
Right.
You're going to be paying around the same price for either figure, even though the paint decos are a little different between the two.
Yeah.
Now, we used to defend this figure quite a bit. Throughout the years, we've, had to argue that, the figure might be a little small, but it was still a good looking figure. But then SH Figuarts made an IG-11 figure. And I personally really got to experience how good an IG droid figure could be. So my opinion has completely flip-flopped.
Yeah, it could be a lot better.
It could definitely be a lot better. It is too small. It's made out of a really gummy plastic, so I know a lot of collectors have trouble getting theirs to stand up for long periods of time. Personally, to this day, I've never had an issue with mine standing.
Yeah.
But outside of a vanilla pose, yeah, you're not really going to get a whole lot out of the figure. Even though Action Display did some great work with IG-11.
True, which is the same body.
Right.
Which is also makes IG-11 a terrible figure.
Yes.
Because it's not just IG-88 repainted. Especially when you compare to how good the other bounty hunters are. Like Zuckuss,
Right.
Forlom, Dengar, figures like that. And this is also one of the only Black Series figures I have. It might be the only one that has actually like deteriorated. Like the joints, the gummy joints have deteriorated and just withered away to ash, and they're gone. So some of those joints like on the arms are just, the rubber piece is gone.
Yep.
Because that's what happens with little rubbery pieces over time.
And yours is the Blue Line figure, and they've completely disintegrated. Now, I don't even move my IG-88 elbows out of pure fear that they are going to disintegrate.
Yeah.
So that's another downfall of the figure. But yeah, too small, gummy plastic, and it deteriorates over time. IG-88 is definitely a figure that needs to be revisited, completely done again, top to toe.
Like, if that's to complete the Bounty Hunter collection, like if you have all the other ones, like maybe. But honestly, there's not that many overly expensive Black Series figures that are terrible. So I feel like IG-88 was the one that he might have been a little shoehorned into this list.
Maybe, just maybe. But coming in at number 4, we do have a pretty bad Black Series figure, one I don't actually personally own. And this is the original R2-D2.
Yeah, or the 40th anniversary Star Wars one, which it doesn't matter which one you choose. They're both overpriced, overexpensive on the aftermarket. R2-D2 Orange line, though, has an average price of $68.48, and there's an Amazon listing right now for $121. Nate, let me tell you something. The sculpt and the accessories are there.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's a great sculpt. I think it has great paint apps, and the accessories are actually plentiful. But it's just too small.
Yeah, it is way too small. Almost like 4-inch scale or something.
Yeah,
which
someone sent a picture in the Discord earlier of a 3 3/4 inch R2 and the Black Series, and it wasn't even that far off.
Right. So the fact that R2, such an iconic, beloved character, is this expensive, this hard to get. Like I said, I don't have a clean R2 in my collection, which, yeah, it's for this very reason. I would not pay $68 for an undersized R2-D2 that's going to look weird next to the other human characters, is going to look weird next to C-3PO. I would much rather just go with what I do have in my collection, which is the Bandai model kit.
Yeah, the model kit is a lot better. It's just the Black Series is missing that bulkiness that astromech droids have.
And it's crazy to me that we've gone so long in the line and we've never got another astromech body mold, because that could just restart the cycle of pumping out those astromech droids.
We did get Chopper, which is a different sculpt, but like
the
regular like R2, R4. Like,
you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Right, and it could restart the cycle, make another R5, make another R4, you know, just the endless astromechs that you could get out of a new astromech body. It's like, come on. And then when you combine that with the insanely high price that R2 fetches these days, yeah, Hasbro, I think it's time for a new astromech body and a new R2-D2, please.
And the rotating head thing is kind of gimmicky.
Oh, yeah.
It kind of feels like a McDonald's, like, Happy Meal toy.
The way that it cranks, you feel like you're going to break it.
Right.
Because it makes such a loud plastic snapping noise.
Right. I have the 40th anniversary one, and I love all the accessories, but I have him in the display fudged in where it doesn't look as bad, but once you put him next to, like, a stormtrooper or something, it's like game over.
Right.
Up next, we have a figure that still fetches a high price, and I'm wondering to myself, what are you doing? There is still, to this day, sold eBay auctions for this horrible figure. It is the Blue Line Emperor Palpatine, the hard goods one in the Blue Line. It averages for about $61.41, and there's an Amazon listing right now for $122. This figure is terrible. The cane can't touch the ground because he's in a hard shell. He can't sit, so even if you did make a custom throne, he can't sit. The head sculpt isn't the best.
Right, it's pre-photoreal, because it is Blue Line.
Yeah,
so.
pre-photoreal. And there's a new archive one coming out, so I don't know why, how, when, if the Blue Line is still selling on eBay, or maybe people are just completists and they're trying to get all the Blue Line figures. I don't know. This figure is coming out, and it is the better version. Yeah, on the archive one.
Yeah, it doesn't have the plastic skirt. And yeah, when we were putting this list together, and you know, we're texting each other back and forth, and you're like, you know, Blue Line Palpatine, and I was like, dude, no way. Like, there's no way that figure is still going for the crazy amount of money it used to fetch. Like, there's an archive. People have the archive version in hand. Like, it is coming soon. If you're out there, if you're new to collecting, do not buy the Blue Line Emperor. There is an archive version coming out that is much better, and you're only going to pay $24.99 for it. And if you do get a custom 3D printed throne, the figure will actually be able to sit. So there you go. absolutely insane that to this day, the Blue Line Emperor is still fetching this kind of price.
Absolutely.
Next up is a very infamous figure.
Yeah, we're going to offend some people now.
Oh, absolutely. This one, number 2 on our most expensive yet terrible Black Series figures list is Princess Leia Slave Outfit, aka Hut Slayer Leia, aka Slave Leia, whatever you want to call her. She's got 50,000 different names, and no, there has never been a canonical name for this outfit.
Yeah, the name of the Black Series figure that was released in 2013 is Princess Leia parentheses Slave Outfit. And this figure is awful. It's one of the worst figures in the line. And it is because this is a 3 3/4 inch figure. I refuse to believe that this is a 6-inch scale figure. If you guys have it, just compare it to another. Like, she doesn't have human proportions.
You could put her against the other Leias.
Right.
And she's smaller than the other Leias. But let's walk it back a little bit, because
All right.
we got to
Going
talk
crazy,
price
going
here.
crazy.
We got to talk
All
price
right,
here.
I'm going crazy here.
On average, eBay sold listings, $86.02.
Which I get it. It's like, they're never going to do this figure again. I need it. But, I mean, they might still do the figure again. It was on the archive fan vote.
Right.
So that hasn't been, like, 100% confirmed.
Amazon listing for $123. Yes, it does seem grim, like we may never get this figure again in the line, but I always got to go back to, if they were 100% not going to do it, they wouldn't even give it a chance to win in the archive fan vote, which she has been featured in the archive fan vote. So really, what we need to do as a group of collectors, we need to pool together, and the next time there's an archive fan vote, vote for Princess Leia. Don't get distracted by Commander Cody and go,
"Oh, Cody? I hope they include an alternate head, and I hope they also include the Emperor Palpatine hologram. Vote, 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 vote."
So maybe instead of the next time we get blinded by the opportunity to get a clone on the old clone body with terrible elbows, let's use our noggins.
I don't think there's enough OT love. Throw a clone on there, and the people of our generation are going, "Clone Trooper," which I mean, I agree.
We're guilty. We're guilty of this, but where we separate from this is that we knew Cody was going to be just the old classic crappy Cody that looks good, but that's it.
Right. But going back to the actual figure, like I was saying, it doesn't have human proportions. It's like a smaller, it's like a 3 3/4 inch figure. The legs look disgusting once they're like, because it's like not pants, so it's like flesh tone. And when you have double jointed legs on flesh tone, I'm like, ugh, like it just looks gross.
You just see all of her articulation. You see the thigh cut, you see the double knee, you see the single elbow.
Which we understand that's a product of an action figure, but if they were to make that figure again, it would have like the single joint stuff, like pinless looks.
Right.
Hypothetically. And pre-photoreal, horrible face sculpt.
She also has that little tiny chain. Like, what does that do? It's not long enough to put it in Jabba's hand.
It's not long enough to like wrap it around his head, I don't think. Yeah,
no, because it's literally like 2 or 3 inches long. So it just kind of sits there, and it's this weird soft, like plastic painted gray. It just looks bad. The figure in general just looks bad and is in desperate need of an overhaul.
You said, like, you could literally compare it to other figures, even other Leia figures, and it's just a small, like, childlike figure. It's super weird. The figure looks terrible. The face doesn't look good. You can see the articulation. Bad scale. Horrible figure. Horrible price on that aftermarket.
Honestly, knowing how bad this figure is and looks, because we do both own it. Granted, we both got it for a great price.
True.
So, to me, I don't think I would have paid more than what I paid, which I believe was $24.99 a few years ago.
Yeah.
Found it at a used media store.
Yeah.
So, I don't think I would have paid any more than that. And I would definitely not pay $80 to $100 for this figure. No. I would rather just not have Slave Leia on the shelf.
Yeah, I 100% agree, but who knows, maybe we'll see something for the 40th anniversary of Return of the Jedi. Finally, Our last figure, terrible figure, Anakin Skywalker, Orange Line or Archive. Interesting thing about this list, a lot of these have Archive figures that are also super expensive. Orange Line Anakin averages for $105, and there's an Amazon listing right now for $190. This might be one of the most expensive Black Series figures of all time because the Orange Line has always fetched a over $100 price. Even back when we first got into the Black Series, I remember it was like Anakin and Darth Maul were consistently like over $100.
And those were the two figures we were like, we're never gonna get these.
Right, exactly. So it's a terrible figure, mainly because of the body.
Yep. The articulation is just super outdated at this point. You get less than 90 on the single elbows, which is already awful for a lightsaber wielding character. The double knees don't really do anything. They look ugly too when you fully extend them because of the way the pants are designed. Honestly, the head sculpts really aren't anything to ride home about.
Even Archive, when they apply the photoreal, photoreal doesn't fix everything, especially that Obi-Wan Kenobi Archive. It's like they did the same thing for our boy Obi-Wan they did for Anakin, and it doesn't fix the figure, and it still looks bad. I have it, but he just has the hilt attached to the belt, and that's it.
Yep.
Because he is one of those figures where it's like, he holds it like a gun. It's like you can't get both hands.
He's like, here, let me double grip my lightsaber.
Exactly. You just can't get any dynamic range out of that articulation. The old Jedi body is terrible. And for how expensive the figure is, oh man, like I would just get the Attack of the Clones Anakin and call it a day. Not that much of a better figure.
Because it's the same body.
It's the same body, but it's not as expensive.
You get a new forearm. You get a new forearm.
Or the best Anakin figure, obviously, being General Skywalker from the Clone Wars. It's kind of a hard to find figure as well, but nothing comes close to this price for how bad a figure is.
Right. And let's not forget a problem that we still have to this day with the line. No robe. No robe with this figure. So you want to pay $105 for a figure that comes with one alternate head and a lightsaber. And it has terrible articulation.
Which, granted, it's cool that it comes with an alternate head because that is so rare in the line.
Right.
But they're just terrible.
They just don't look that great. I mean, I think the Sith head does look better than the normal head. And because I have General Skywalker, I do have that Anakin displayed with the evil head on. But still, he's just back in the collection somewhere. Not really like the focal point of any part of my display.
Right.
And so that was our 5 figures that are expensive but terrible. So of course we'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. What are some figures you think fetch a really high price despite how bad they truly are? We'd love to hear what you have to say in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this episode of Figured Out, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe if you are new, ring that bell for notifications so you know when we're uploading. If you'd like to support the channel directly, for 99 cents a month, we do have a channel membership. You get custom emojis and a custom Clone Trooper name badge that changes based on how long you are a member of the Basement Dweller Army. There's a link in the description if you don't see the join button next to the subscribe button. And if you can't support us in that way, no problem. Simply watching, liking, subscribing, all that good stuff is good enough for us. We appreciate each and every one of you. And thank you to everyone else for watching. I'm Nate, joined with Justin.
See you guys later.
And we will see you all next time on Out of the Basement.